Heritage hosted another US era coin showcase auction in June, so let's take a look at some of the more interesting coins that appeared. Let's start off with a very rare proof coin variety, where this 1972 S proof Kennedy half dollar experienced a catastrophic die break on the reverse coin die. You can clearly see where the reverse die failed and a chunk of it completely broke off, taking the 1 of the date, the G of God, as well as the L of Liberty with it. Graded by NGC as proof 69 star cameo, this exciting era coin was sold at auction for $1,140. An elliptical planchet is sometimes created when the coining blanks are cut from the source sheet metal, which is known as a planchet strip. The planchet strip doesn't move far enough before the punch or the planchet cutter strikes another blow, and the result is what sometimes is called an egg-shaped or an elliptical planchet. This planchet is then fed into the coining press normally, and the result is a coin like this, a 1972 Kennedy half dollar graded by PCGS as MS65 that sold at auction for $2,160. Now, this is hardly a very dramatic era coin, to be sure, but era coins on gold coins are so rare that I thought it warranted a mention all the same. What we see here is a 1924 gold St. Gordon's double eagle with a struck through error on the reverse of the coin. Most of the detail of the eagle's body is missing, and from the shape, it is unclear what kind of obstruction might have caused this, but something definitely came between the gold blank and the reverse die when the coin was struck, causing this indentation. Graded by NGC as MS64, it crossed under the auctioneer's gavel for $2,640. Die caps happen when a coin gets stuck to one of the two coining dies, and successive strikes on new planchets then wrap the original coin around one of the die faces, resulting in a uniface cap with the design of the capped die struck into the cylinder. Die caps are oftentimes seen from the later Lincoln Cent series, and practically every instance of such an era coin involves a die cap produced from the planchet of the same denomination as the die, which would make perfect sense. Sometimes these are even bonded with other planchets as well. Now, this piece, though, is a die cap formed from a nickel planchet on a cent die, making this a double error of sorts, a die cap and a wrong planchet error. Graded by PCGS as MS62, this unique 1981 Obverse die cap was sold at auction for $4,320. The example we see in front of us now is a rather interesting example of what is called an indent strike or an indentation error. This happens when two coin blanks are fed into the collar die together. Typically, they will overlap in some way, but in this case, the second planchet was a smaller Lincoln Cent planchet and not another half dollar blank. So the two planchets were then struck together and then apparently ejected successfully from the press, leaving a blank spot over Kennedy's face. This means that somewhere out there, or at least if it wasn't picked up by the Mint's quality control, is a uniface Lincoln penny planchet with a large portion of Kennedy's head on one side and nothing on the other. This coin is slabbed by NGC as MS64 and sold at auction for $4,320. While certainly not the most fantastical era coin to appear at the auction, it could be argued to be one of the more eye-catching, as the coin retains incredible original mint luster given its nature and age. This is a 1956 Jefferson half-dollar coin that was struck about 25% off-center, but it was also struck on a $quarter planchet prepared for a proof Washington quarter. But the half-dollar die was definitely just an ordinary business strike die, creating a rather peculiar era coin. Graded by NGC as MS63 during its turn on the auction block, it sold for $6,300. A similar off-center strike coin was also offered on a Walking Liberty half-dollar coin, though this time clearly just from a regular business strike run, unlike the previous coin. The mint mark is unfortunately off-plan, if indeed there ever was one, as this coin is struck around 60% off-center, so we can't tell exactly which one of the three working mints was responsible for this error. But the date does appear to be 1918, and the coin has definitely seen some circulation, or at the very least, someone used it as a pocket piece for many years. Graded by PCGS as VF35, error coins on walkers are surprisingly difficult to come by, so little surprise then that this coin sold at auction for $6,000. Alright, so our next entry has a lot going for it, and at the same time was a relatively simple mint error. So, in short, this is a wrong planchet, overstruck, double denomination, double date, off-metal error coin. What all of that means is that this was originally a 1964 silver dime, which then somehow made its way back into the minting press set up for Lincoln pennies in 1972, almost a decade later, and was then overstruck as a Lincoln cent. The obverse has two clear dates, 1964 and 1972, with Roosevelt's head, well, or at least what's left of it, seen underneath the impression of Lincoln's bust, with the reverse depicting similar features from the undertype dime design remaining on the coin. Graded by PCGS as MS63, this curiosity was sold at auction for the closing price of $7,200. This is a proof Type 3 Eisenhower dollar coin, double struck on a Clad Kennedy half-dollar planchet. The coin is overall extremely well struck, as you would expect from a San Francisco mint-proof coin, albeit on the wrong planchet type. On both the obverse and reverse, you can clearly see that the coin was double struck, with about 30% rotation between strikes, as the outline of Eisenhower's head from the initial strike remains on the obverse, and clear details from the eagle's wing, the moon's craters, and the Earth, as well as portions of the motto, are seen in this same orientation on the reverse of the coin as well. The date was unfortunately off planchet, but the coin has two S mint marks remaining, one from each strike. This error coin was slabbed by NGC with a grade of proof 69 cameo and sold at auction for $7,200. Here we have a very unique 1976 S Bicentennial proof $quarter coin that was double struck on an existing Clad dime, with clear and undeniable evidence of the double struck nature of the coin seen on both sides. Washington's face seems to emerge from the neck of the obverse, and the drummer's hand remains from the first strike on the reverse, indicating that the coin must have rotated around 100 degrees between strikes, with two clear planchet splits taking place towards the left, relative to the final reverse impression, exposing the copper core of the coin along the edge in the process. This coin was certified by PCGS as proof 67 cameo and sold at auction for $9,000. Subscribe to WNN and consider watching another video about error coins next. For the World Numismatic News, I'm Numisman saying thank you for watching. Keep collecting and have a fantastic day.